Crepe, Aerosmith,
Radio Free
featuring
Fargo.
Beck.
KRFF,
What happened?
95.9 FM, Moorhead, Fargo.
Sorry about that. Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. Starting off great here. We're starting off real great, aren't we? KRFF 95.9, RadioFreeFargo.org. We're streaming everywhere on this blue and green marble. We can get inside your ear hole. And we like to do it. I try to do it every Thursday I get in here. We talk about cannabis in general, cannabis legalization, what's happening in the state. State of North Dakota does, in fact, have a push in a matter of days now. 3 days, the Secretary of State will have to say, yes, the signatures are valid. And that's what he's going to say. He has to. So help me. But anyway, next Thursday, I'll be able to tell you for sure. But I'm pretty confident. Again, from what I've seen of this group, when they say they vetted the signatures, I believe them. I mean, they just come off more professional, which, you know, I don't want to say means anal, but sometimes it does. And when it comes to making sure and ensuring success, anal people do that, you know? So, dare I say type A? I'm type lazy. Anyway, Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. Every Thursday I get in here. In the mornings, there's Country with Trav. Then we got the AI robot, Fred. He spins the stuff when there isn't a human. Then you got me. After me, Stinky Arts Music, Mart. Then you got some other stuff I forget. You're just going to have to check it out yourself. RadioFreeFargo.org will let you know everything's going on. Click the calendar, click the shows. And while you're there, why don't you do a little donating? Nonprofit, Radio Free Fargo 95.9, KRFF is listener supported. That's you, dude. Radio Free Fargo receives no government support. No government support. No cheese, no support. Nor grant monies presently. And traditional advertising is not an option for nonprofits. We do have underwriting, which is different. Radio Free Fargo believes in trying to present the widest spectrum of music and talk. If you believe in community radio and would like to help, visit our website, www.radiofreefargo.org. Click on the donate button. As always, thank you, people. Thank you. Because without you guys, we just in the breeze. And I wouldn't be able to, you know, flex a hobby that could turn into something, you know. Radio, maybe that's my future. I don't know. I believe God created cannabis for us to use as we see fit, and I show him props every Sunday. 417 Main Avenue, Antioch Church. 10 a.m. is recovery. If you've got a monkey on your back or you've kicked that monkey off your back, but that little banana eater's still tugging on your sock, I feel you, and he feels you. Come on through. God can help you. 11 a.m. worship. This show is brought to you by Black Cottage Alchemy. Black Cottage Alchemy on Facebook. 1,200 MIGs, a locally grown hemp whipped up into a tub with other fun stuff for your outer body. Thank you, Black Cottage Alchemy, for sponsoring this show. Again, New Economic Frontier is the group that has done the legwork for you. They've gotten the signatures. They've vetted the signatures. They've got them to the man with the plan in the capital city of the biz. So now it's just a matter of time. Again, it's the 8th of 8. So we got, what is that? Was that next Monday? So for sure, in case you Google it because you're so excited to find out, if I was a gambling man, I'd put every last 14 cents that I had down that it's going to be approved. But however, if it's not, I hate to say it, but that'll make a great story for next week. You know, maybe I'll take some disgruntled phone conversations into. I don't know, but I'm just doing what I do. Learn about underwriting opportunities with nonprofit Radio Free Fargo 95.9 FM KRFF-LP. Increase public visibility and create a positive image. Underwriting may increase website traffic and possibly offer tax deductions, possibly. To learn more, please message us at our website, www.radiofreefargo.org. Again, it's exciting to be with you. I'm loving this cool weather. I'm not going to lie to you one bit. I can dig it. I can dig it. I don't mind it being cool, but like I was talking to Sandy's right-hand man this morning, she doesn't like it that it's cool in the summer, and I don't know what it means. I mean, we've had such a crazy winter. Last winter and the winter before, I just don't know what's going to happen. But people say the spiders are out spinning their webs, and all the little birdies have went south already, or wherever they go. I don't want to belabor you with all that, right? I shouldn't do it. All right, Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. That's me. That's what you're tapped into here. 95.9 Radio Free Fargo. 420, we'll open a big fat bag of cannabis news. But right now, I got a little Gangnam Style. The Cleverleys, 95.9.
Whoop them Gangnam Style.
Yeah. Gangnam Style, the Cleverleys. That's some bluegrass word mumble. Was that in English? I don't even know what I heard. Woongum boongum doodum hoogum boogum. Good enough for me. 95.9 RadioFreeFargo.org. Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. I'm Wilson. Canna-Talk ND is the title of the show. This segment's where I ease you into the next phase. I've gotten kind of completely bored with trying to talk about cannabis every stinking week. I feel like the end is near. I feel like I've done my duty. My duty for the pro doobie. And again, my thoughts around super promotion of it, as well as I become more Christ-like. So it's just a good move. It's a good move, and so I would say November. But October, I'll probably transition and still give you tidbits, because November 3rd is the election, and we're going to, we'll be voting. So everybody's going to be curious about the results, so I'm going to make sure to keep you up to date on that as well. New Economic Forum has a website and Facebook, so you don't have to depend on me. You can always go there, and you can find out what be going down. But this is the Ease In segment where I talk about these crazy news stories, because I'm going to be, like I said, the show will be called What in the World? And I'm going to be finding the craziest stories I can talk about, like this one. This one here. Sharks off Brazil coast test positive for cocaine. The drug was found in all 13 wild Brazilian sharp-nosed sharks tested with a concentration, are you ready for this, with as much as 100 times higher than previously reported for other aquatic creatures. Now, I don't know what 100 times higher is. I mean, I know what high is. I know when I'm high and I got 100 times higher, I needed an ambulance. No, I don't know. I just don't know what 100 times is. And I'm not a sharp nose. I don't even have any sharp-nosed sharks in my friend list. I mean, I can't really Google. I just don't know. I mean, if you know any Brazilian sharp-nosed sharks, have them call me. Sharks in water off the coast of Brazil have tested positive for the cocaine. Researchers have long suggested that sea life could be impacted by drugs. But just imagine how many druggy drugs has to be in a diluted body of water that big. Are you kidding me? I don't know. I mean, I'm ignorant. I don't know how big the ocean is. It's dish big, and I'm in the studio with my hands around like a circle. I don't know. I know, though, that back in the day when I was trying to pass felony probation, I don't suggest this. I don't even know if you can dilute anymore. But my trick was to just drink so much water. And then, I mean, the beauty is you can get a multivitamin. I don't want to be dropping secrets here, but, a multivitamin will change your urine color. And it'll make it just look a little more like normal pee. And when it comes out really bright yellow, you can say, hey, I take this multivitamin. I think that's B6 or whatever. And maybe that don't fly, but back in the day, it worked for me because I just didn't have a lot of body fat. And I was afraid of prison. So I drink a lot of water. And it would, I'm nowhere near the size of an ocean. Nowhere near the size of an ocean. So I don't know. I know it's possible to put so much liquid into a controlled substance that it no longer is kind of viable. So for it to be ingested in a shark, seems to me like that's a lot. All right. So a study from the Oswaldo Cruz Foundation, you're listening to Canna-Talk ND with Wilson, by the way, has now found evidence sharks are in fact being affected by drugs polluting the ocean. Now, polluting the ocean, bruh. That's like, I mean, wrap your brain around it. You could drink a cup of ocean water and test positive for cocaine. That's how much cocaine does a woodchuck chuck before all the woodchucks are high on cocaine? The scientists dissected 13 Brazilian sharpnose. Muscle and liver tissue was then tested. We're talking muscle tissue. This stuff got in it, man. And they found the benzoxylocogonine, the main metabolite in the drug. And they were all positive. The first study defined the presence of cocaine in free-range sharks, people, and found the substance was more prevalent in muscle tissue than in the shark's liver. I mean, there is that much coke in the ocean? That just blows my mind. You're listening to Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. We're going to jump into a musical break here again. This, I can't even pronounce it. It's Canna-Talk. It's an album by Jeremy Dutcher or Dutcher. I don't know. I can't pronounce nothing. But this is a native kind of music. I found it quite melodic. And so here is the unknown title, Skinna-Nooka-Wooka by Jeremy Dutcher. Skissinawakuk. Jeremy Dutcher. That's off the Matawala Nakawak. I can't pronounce it. But it's beautiful. That was beautiful. Here on 95.9 Radio Free Fargo. .org. Programming on KRFF. Radio Free Fargo 95.9 is being underwritten by Flatland Guitar and Lutherie. Flatland Guitar is your full-service guitar shop and your exclusive dealer for Yamaha, Taylor, and PRS guitars and other brands. They have guitars on consignment. They take trade-ins and have a full-service on-site repair center. Check out Flatland Guitar and Lutherie on Facebook or visit them in person at their location at 1450 25th Street South in Fargo. Well, man, it's about time to get this thing going. 4:20, time to open a big fat bag of cannabis news, so stick around. 2 seconds. Bada bing, bada boom.
Hey, it's Phil from Canna-Heads. Like this episode? Hit that like button. And if you enjoy the show, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on cannabis news, local and national. Listen live on 95.9 in the Fargo, North Dakota region from 4 to 5 p.m. on Thursday. For our non-Fargo region friends, you can listen on your favorite podcast platform. Just search Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. Now enjoy the show.
We ain't gonna wait. Let's keep this train blowing through, shall we? Let's keep this train blowing through. Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. I'm your boy Wilson. 4:20, it's when we open a big fat bag of cannabis news. I've been doing it since 2019, which is crazy, isn't it? It's crazy, and we're almost at 2025, which, again, we used to sit around and smoke our 6% THC back in the good old 90s. 8% was reaching. And talk about how cool it's going to be flying around in saucers in 2025, because we just knew that it would be the Jetsons in our reality. And outside of the cell phones, which... You know, and LED lighting, that's new, too. I mean, we didn't have LED lighting. But I had a phone stuck to the wall for for at least half my life. I remember even when my daughter was young, I had an actual landline that I would come home and look at the phone. If it was beeping red, I had like a voicemail message. Insane. Now you take my phone, I'd have a panic attack. I mean, my whole identity's in that phone. I digress. Let's see. What can we talk about? I will mention this. Greater North Dakota Chamber, all right, they are celebrating individuals, the faces of manufacturing. They're basically known for doing cool things in the state. And it was brought to my attention on the New Economic Frontier that one of the guys here, Todd Nagel, Director of Operations, Pure Dakota, Bismarck, that's a dispensary. And again, the fact that he's getting celebrated when I would argue, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, ain't no way Greater North Dakota Chamber would consider some hophead, some runner of the hophead department Dope Man Todd would be included. So again, it's progress, it's exciting, and we'll see how we move forward with that. But congratulations to Todd, and congratulations to the whole Cannabis Isn't Horrible movement that's starting to proliferate in the state of North Dakota. So we'll see how things are. This is from Valley News Live, and this should scare some people. Praise the Lord. I'm almost, August 28th, it'll be 4 years. Nothing, no toxic drugs, no boozy, no tobacco. I mean, I still snort stuff at church, but other than that. But anyway, I mean, that's. I don't want to say it's major, but I mean, I was kind of doing the math. 365 days times 4. That's like over 1,000 days I've chose to live my life without any help, without any speed. I mean, I haven't taken a hot shower though in about 4 years either. I've done some pretty crazy things to stimulate dopamine releases that's positive, but I think the man upstairs, to be honest, it ain't me, but if I would have said, still, my point is still, North Dakota law enforcement implementing roadside drug screening devices gives me just like an inkling of anxiety. Like, it's like I feel for you, but because again, I don't know how reliable, I suppose it's, and again, I'm going to use this word. It's high time they came up with something. I'm not telling them to. I would imagine at those cop meetings, they're like, well, have we came up with a roadside drug test yet? Have we? Is it good enough? We want to get it. So, LEOs across North Dakota will soon receive mobile screening devices to detect if a driver may be under the influence of drogas. That's Spanish for drugs. I'm pretty much Spanish, Nah, beginning this fall. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I am. Beginning this fall, up to 40 law enforcement agencies will start training officers on how to use the SoToxa oral fluid device. Like a breathalyzer, it can be administered as a screening tool after an officer suspects impairment from a driver. And this suspecting impairment, I have an issue with, because it's subjective. It's subjective, and an officer can just assume anything he wants. Now, I don't know if he's got to include it in his report. I think we need to get to the legislation soon and start implementing that smell isn't reasonable suspicion for impairment suspicion. North Dakota, is going to love it, and I guarantee you we're going to have to fight to get that. But other states have done it. I mean, other judges have deemed that, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. So that's what scares me. He's going to administer a screening tool after a officer suspects impairment. I don't know, from a driver. Now, back in the day, if a cop pulled me over and I'm the driver, he couldn't even say hi. I mean, you know what I mean? To the passengers. He didn't ask for their IDs. He didn't search them. It was a driver's infraction. The driver created the reason the cop pulled him over. He dealt with him. And then I noticed this changed. I don't know if it was the Patriot Act, but boy, that seemed to be bandied about a lot post 9/11 for infringing. Is that the right word? Infringing upon my rights. Arriba. What are we doing? I just seen a cool car go by me. I got distracted. They should never put a window in the studio. Feel me? Okay, that's my own problem. Maybe I should just close my eyes and do this show. But anyway, I've noticed that just the ability to pursue more things. Like when I got hung up in South Dakota, I mean, it wasn't whatever. Okay, so like a breathalyzer test, The oral fluid sample will assist the officer in determining what might be causing the impairment. Used in a roadside pilot program in North Dakota from 2022 to 2023, and I wonder if any of y'all had to do it. Oral fluid samples determined at least one drug was present in 83% of the cases. And what they aren't saying is how sure this thing is, right? How sure is it? And what is it testing? Is it testing metabolites? I don't know what it's doing. And for THC, I mean, we must be testing nanogram levels, right? Just right. I mean, that kind of concerns me a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, because I feel like you can go to Minnesota right now and get low-dose THC anything. All right? You can get 5 migs. You can get, take 2, that's 10. All right? You can hang out at your buddies. Then you come home. You got Officer Non-Friendly waiting on the other side of the bridge. He pulls you over. He hits you with one of these. What's the chances? Like what's the reach on it? Because what's the reach? So anyway, the pilot program confirmed at least one drug was present in 83% of the cases, with 51% identifying THC. The pilot program confirmed what was previously anecdotal from LEOs. Drivers are using impairing substances other than just alcohol. Now, what I think is hilarious, anecdotal evidence from law enforcement, they just act so vague. We were always kind of suspicious that the impairment might be other than just alcohol. Whoa. Huh. Anecdotally, I just, is it just alcohol? I don't know. Are you kidding me? Of course drivers are using impairing substances. Come on. Of course they are. It's the way of the world, man. 2 turntables and a driving impaired. They even write songs about it. All right, where are we at? I will say this, though. Trooper Tariq Chase is a great name for a highway patrolman, isn't it? Trooper Chase behind so-and-so going blah, 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 blah. All right, so with 46% of samples from the pilot program indicating 2 or more drugs found in the subject's system, this clearly demonstrates the need for law enforcement to have tools to identify drug-impaired driving in order to remove those drivers from the road. Now, my thing is this suspected impairment. Like, how are you getting them pulled over? How are they being pulled over? Are they speeding? That doesn't mean you're impaired. You could just be in a hurry. You weaved? That doesn't mean anything. You could have dropped your ghost on the floor. And I mean the drink, not the invisible sister that got strangled in the basement. Not that ghost. Oh, boy, I'm having fun today. Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. I'm Wilson. We have opened a big bag of cannabis news. We're talking about this stinking law enforcement implementing roadside drug screening devices. If you just tuned in, they're going to start it, and it's happening this weekend. It's happening this weekend. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, no. Next weekend. August 16th to September 2nd. So to combat impaired driving, law enforcement agencies across the state will take part in drive sober or get pulled over. But again, how do you get to them? What's the deciding factors? Can you pull them over on a whim just to make sure you weaved a little bit? Chances are you just had to reach over and slap your kid for stealing another Snicker. But we're going to give you this drug test because we suspect it. However, I don't suspect it. I suspect that you weaved a little because you were just briefly distracted by something falling or something. I mean, weaving happens a lot. There's just a little oop, a doo boop, woo boop. I mean, I don't even drive. Like, I kind of like you can ask my daughter. I drive like Sloopy, you know, like loo-ba-loo-ba-loo. Like I kind of float down the road. You know? So it's like, I mean, any given time, I suppose I could look impaired from the outside. But I'm not, you know? So, now it says the oral fluid sample will assist the officer in determining what might be causing the impairment, but I don't like the sound of it, and I can read between the lines. It's going to be used in court, and it's the only thing that they're going to use to determine what might be causing the impairment. If you blow into that and it says, Coke, friend, you are impaired, and you're going to go to jail. It's not an assistance. What you're going to use? What other means are you going to use if you've got a little something you blow into? I mean, what else are they doing with breathalyzers for alcohol? Nothing. I mean, I guess they can use slurred speech and all that stuff, but a lot of drugs, and which is why they're coming up with this stuff. Which again, here's the thing: this anecdotal evidence basically means they really don't have any causes of impairment. They don't have any evidence, visible evidence. If they did, they wouldn't need a breathalyzer. You could say the guy was on his roof with no shirt on, with his arm under the steering wheel, and he had like another little guy down there pushing the gas. You're like, well, man, only an idiot on crack could be doing that. Right? Like if you can't tell, then where is the impairment? Where's the impairment? And if it is visible, then why has this just been water cooler talk with the cops? With anecdotal evidence. I don't know. He looked a little twitchy. He had 2 buttons unbuttoned. That's usually an indicator of fentanyl abuse. I mean, how are you? What is the anecdotal evidence? That's what I'd like to know. Well, we're having fun. Let's keep moving. I got other stuff we can talk about. I got kind of hung up on that. This is Cannabis Moment. Federal judge says he won't rule on whether Jersey City police can use cannabis off duty. He wants a series of state legal battles reach their conclusion if he rules on the matter at all. Julian Xavier declined Jersey City's request to declare that federal gun law barring drug users from owning firearms preempts state law that allows police officers to ingest cannabis. Now, this barring drug users, see, this, when you can say drug user, it changes everything, you know. But again, caffeine is a drug, right? And that's completely fine. Now, some people, if you overdo caffeine, you can end up in the hospital. I can assure you. And some of them caffeine pills, if you took a lot, dude, buddy, you got issues. And kind of ironically, CBD and cannabis would probably get you back down to earth a little bit. And it's funny because it would take a lot of like the symptoms away. Yeah, it would kind of bring you down a little, but it would also go, okay, his heart rate's up, his body temperature's really high, and that's what the endocannabinoid system does. It adjusts bodily homeostasis. So if you overtook caffeine, cannabis might be the antidote. Right? So, I mean, I don't know. This whole drug user thing bothers me. And sugar. I would argue sugar's a drug. It's taken down everybody. The body keeps it. It creates obesity. It's horrible, right? So, I don't know. I think it's just bad press. All right. Animal feed officials are considering hemp seeds for chicken feed. I've brought articles up like that before, and it's no question. I mean, I've eaten hemp seeds. They're great. I mean, look at the macros and the micros. I mean, there is so much good stuff, omega-3s in that bad boy. There is fun stuff. Now, I mean, I hate to talk about this now, but I'm good. I'm a ganjapreneur. Fentanyl-laced cannabis products seized at Connecticut smoke shop. Now, this has been kind of like the boogeyman thing, and I've certainly argued that ain't nobody putting fentanyl in cannabis. And then I was reading this article about how, the argument was, if people are putting fentanyl in cannabis, how come more people aren't dying? And the par argument was this: they're not putting very much in. They're putting very, very, very little bits amounts in to slowly get your body used to it. And you think it's a certain thing, next thing you know, bang, right? Like if you're taking like a little, it's just easing it in. It feels diabolical, but still, it seems like something you would. It sounds a little conspiratorial, right? But police in Norwalk, Connecticut, arrested a 21-year-old for selling cannabis products without a license, and they tested the products, and it was positive for fentanyl. Now, okay, we can say the testing was off, or it just wasn't valid testing, or whatever we can say. But they tested this cannabis, and some of it tested positive for fentanyl. It is. The search was part of the department's investigation, so that's a concerning thing. Into smoke shops selling cannabis without a license. Now, here's where I get to tell you this guy's name, and he's got 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay, are you ready? Ali Mahmoud Ahmed Abdullah Ghalib is charged with possession with intent to sell more than 1 kilogram of cannabis, possession greater than 1.55 and 8 ounces of cannabis. All right. Sale of a narcotic substance. Now, that's where they're going to nail this Ali Mahmoud Ahmed to the wall, because they found the fentanyl in it. But how much, right? How much? Police said many of the products seized during the search tested positive for fentanyl. That's nuts, right? I mean, that's nuts. The agency said it had seized 3.5 pounds of Flowey and gummies, and the gummies contain 50 mgs, while the state's legal limit is 1 mg per piece. Sounds like my kind of store, ain't gonna lie. The product packaging was also misleading. The warrant was the second executed at the Zaza Smoke Shop by the Norwalk Police. So, hey, has anybody heard of the gas station heroin? Apparently you can buy it in North Dakota. It's called tianine. It's like Tiana. So it's like tianetine, I think is what it's called. But apparently it's crazier than kratom. And it's funny because my ADHD brain, of course, went down the rabbit hole and I looked into it. And my body's like, well, why don't you give it a shot? It's like, nah, you better than that now, bruh. So we'll skip it. But anyway, I wanted to say this. Video shows dog chewing on a lithium-ion battery and sparking house fire in Oklahoma. That's interesting, isn't it? There was a chicken parade, prompts change to proposed restrictions in Iowa City. Flocks feed families. So, yeah, we want the chickens in our town. But anyway, let me see here. What else we got? Florida's billionaire donates $20 million to candidates that oppose cannabis legalization. That is an interesting thing. We'll talk about it here now. Trump says he agrees people should not be criminalized over cannabis as more states legalize. And he added that he will fairly soon reveal his position on the cannabis measure on the November ballot in Florida, where he is a voter. As we legalize it, he says, I start to agree a lot more because, it's because, oh man, I can't do Trump. It's being legalized all over the country. Yeah, I can't do it. Trump said at a press conference at Mary Leggy, Florida has something coming up. I'll be making a statement about that fairly soon. He says, as we legalize it throughout the country, whether that's a good thing or bad thing, it's awfully hard to have people all over the jails that are in jail right now for something that's legal, which is just, exactly. So I think obviously there's a lot of sentiment to doing that. I would agree. While not an explicit endorsement of major cannabis reform, it does represent another example of Trump departing from the harsh anti-drug rhetoric. But I would argue that he's going to be forced to soften a bit because of how the other group is. Which, I mean, come on. Bringing Tim on, I mean, in the Democratic side, pretty much I mean, let's just say this. Now, not everybody is going to vote that way just because. And I'd say don't just vote for cannabis in your party, you know, like, or just one kind of like thing. You know, I think you got to look at the bigger picture. But 80% of Americans believe cannabis should be legalized in some form or another. And so that's an interesting concept when you look at how pro this Democratic ticket is. It's interesting, and I can't wait to see how this shakes out in November, to be honest with you, because to me, it's interesting. Now, release Mark Fogel, people. I always want to bring that up. Ann Fogel is tired. Her brother, a teacher, was detained. He's sentenced to serve 14 years. And when they heard late Wednesday that other prisoners in Russia were being moved, they immediately reached out to as many members of Congress so they could see if they could get their brother's release. It was not to be. He learned this. You can imagine he's in a Russian prison. He learns this over Russian television that they're releasing 3 Americans. And he's undone. It's a glaring injustice, they say, placing blame with the U.S. government. I don't know who's at fault, but come on. Mark needs to be released. He really does. Out of all of them, he's the only one that kind of makes sense, to be honest with you. Right? So, man, oh man. Release Mark Fogel, people. Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. Every Thursday I get in here. 4:20, open a big fat bag of you know what. And this week was no different. There's an article, Why Are Cats Scared of Cucumbers? That's your homework. And check out Dolphins Deliberately Getting High on Pufferfish. Canna-Talk ND with Wilson has come to about an end. I'm going to read a underwriter here for fun. What do we got? I think I'm going to tell you about the nonprofit Radio Free Fargo 95.9 KRFF LP and tell you it's listener supported. That's you, buddy. Radio Free Fargo receives no government support, no grant money, and traditional advertising is a no option for nonprofits. We do have underwriting. That's different. Radio Free Fargo believes in trying to present the widest spectrum of music. If you believe in community radio and would like to help, visit our website, www.radiofreefargo.org. Click on the donate button. As always, thank you for your support. Please tell others about our Free Fargo. Now, I got brand new stuff for you. Here's Talk, Matisse, Yahoo. Man, I got to get it together. Here's Talk, Matisse, Yahoo, 95.9. All right, man. I got to talking. I'm so sorry. 95.9 KRFF, RadioFreeFargo.org. Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. Wrapping up this little shindig. I'll be back in next Thursday. We got Stinky Art Music Mart on deck, and pew, it's extra stinky today, so good luck. Get your nose plugs ready for Stinky Art's Music Mart, but leave them ears open because he's got something to get inside it. I believe God created cannabis for us to use as we see fit. I show him props every Sunday. Antioch Church, 417 Main Avenue, 10 a.m. We do a recovery class. If you've got a monkey on your back, or you've kicked that monkey off your back, but you can feel that little banana eater pulling on your sock, come on through. I believe the man upstairs can take care of you. He's taking care of me again, 4 years sober this month. Boom. 11 a.m. worship. This show is brought to you by Black Cottage Alchemy. Black Cottage Alchemy, 1,200 mgs of locally grown hemp wrapped up into a big fun tub of butter for your outer body. Man, I'm out of breath. I mean, what's going on? Educate yourselves on the benefits of cannabis so you can educate others on said benefits, especially as we head into the voting season where cannabis most likely will be on the ballot. New Economic Frontier. Check it out. They have a website on the internets, so you can check that out. Next Thursday, I'll be able to tell you whether or not it's going to be on the ballot. Secretary of State has to say yay or nay on the 12th, I believe. So I'm going to jump out of here because that's what I do. But, man, I have got to get my act together because I'm not very with it today. I'm not very with it today. But that's all right. That's all right. It's the way it goes. It's the way it goes. All right. So I'm out of here. Stinky Arts Music Mart is in. Take care of yourselves. It's David Allen, Judgment Day. Peace.